Yeah, he had a good solid game. The first interception on the second play of the game. We're trying to be aggressive there. They were in man coverage. We're trying to throw an inside fade to CJ. CJ just made a great play to start the game out. I told CJ before the game, I said, I'm coming to you early. I hope you're ready. And he said, I am ready. Feed me. And we had a great matchup. And he just kind of babied it and just kind of underthrew it. Now, those are not the type of plays I don't think that get you beat. Turnovers are a big determining factor. It was almost like a punt a little bit because we took them back to the 30 there and we took a shot at it. He just underthrew that. The pick that was bad was the one going in. We had a chance. I think got picked about the 20-yard line going in, and that was points, right there. And in a game like that, every little point was going to matter. So that was a situation where I think me and him just didn't communicate very well, and the receiver in there, I think Isaiah being new, we kind of got a busted little route in there a little bit too. And I thought he should have probably just ate the ball, ran with it a little bit. So besides that, I'd say, yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah.
So the receivers looked okay in the first half, but it seemed like night and day first half and second half. What was said in the locker room?
Well, just relax. You're good. You can do it. I mean, the team was so ready. We'd had such great preparation. I said this a couple of times, not anything to do with me, so make sure you don't misquote me here. It was the best coaching job I'd ever been a part of. I just was a part of it in 40 years of coaching. Coach Houston had done an unbelievable job of preparing the team, preparing the staff. I mean, from the head coach down to all the GAs, the prep was just the best. We'd had the best walkthroughs. The team was the most ready to play. And though the newer receivers, the not young, but the newer, I think they wanted to impress and they wanted to do well. And I think we caught the ball very well, early. So at halftime, I thought I kind of came down before we got to get together, and I could see them. They were a little bit long in the face. And I was just like, just relax. I'll promise you, there's magic in this stadium. I promise if you just hang in there, that we will be back in this thing with a chance to win. Just relax. We're going to keep coming to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that. And I don't know. I think we kind of got a good stop on defense. We got the ball. We got Isaiah the ball a couple of times. He really started feeling it, and then Jalen kind of got involved in it. And I think their confidence just grew. But I just think they just relaxed and started thinking about what have I got to do instead of, well, I got to go catch this ball. I got to make a big play like that. Yeah, I like that. I'd like to think of our spread offense, whatever the label is, not much into the labels, is, equivalent to like the wishbone where you do spread the ball around. Now, I've been a part of some receivers that had huge numbers, where they just were so superior, I guess, or the quarterback just started to find them. But, when we've been at our best, we've spread the ball around. I would like to have gotten the run game going a little better, though I think the run game wasn't as effective as we'd like for it to be. I think Keaton had 12 or 10. I think Raji the other one. The run game is what opened it up, though, in the second half because we got a couple of runs finally to work in that first drive, and that made them have to kind of defend the run again a little bit, and then I think it opened up the pass a little bit. So I like to get those guys involved. I kind of had it scripted out a little bit early to try to get a lot of guys involved just so they would get into the flow of the game and not worry about, their touches or how the game was going to play out because we have a lot of good skill players. When you have a lot of good skill players and a lot of them are new, meshing with some of the older, my concern had been, let's don't get worried about, how much do I get the ball? How do I, fit in this thing a little bit? And that's a good problem to have, but I did worry about it. How do you get the backs their carries? How do you get, CJ his catches? How do you get Ryan, Shane, Isaiah, Jalen, all those stuff like that. So it was good distribution, and that'll make us better because we'll be harder to defend since you can't just go double one guy.
The way the offensive line was able to pass block, does that open up maybe some different things in the playbook that maybe you weren't able to run into?
Well, I think we can throw it deep more. You know what I'm saying? I think we had time. A major point of emphasis in the offseason, there was actually three that we thought we have to get better at, and one of them was pass protection. And I thought we did that. Now, we can't slip in the run. You know, that's the thing. That's the give and the take about it. So we worked a lot more on pass protection. We had a lot more blitz pickup. We were really expecting them to come after us. I think the word that we get, you know, because coaches talk and everybody knows somebody, and that's why you have to worry about information getting out because it'll get to your opponent, was that people felt like you can't give Holton time or he'll shred you. If you can get pressure on him, and I know that's true almost of every quarterback, but if you can flush him and make him especially go to his right, then he's a lot less effective. And so the first game last year, Appalachian was a team that really blitzed a very low percentage. And we got in the game, and they were bringing them from everywhere. So we're like, yeah, that's what they're going to do. So we were really worked hard on the pass protection, and it was much improved. So I think Holton gained confidence from it, you know, like that. I gained confidence from it, and I think Shank was relieved.
It was the first time that maybe Holton hadn't gotten sacked in how long?
Probably since third grade maybe or something. I don't know. Yeah.
So that's a true testament to how
It was, you know, and I will say you and Shank are the two that brought that up the quickest to me. I had not gotten to the shower till he said, hey, no sack. So, you know what I'm saying, on the positive side. And I was like, you know what, that is pretty big. That is pretty big. So if we could continue to do that, we would be a pretty good team, I think, as time goes on. So, yeah.
Downey was pretty magical. You've seen it like that before, and you're one of the few that have seen it. So talk about how much it was.
Yeah. Donnie, that's the negative to being up there in the press box. Maybe you don't feel it, but it's good. I knew I could tell though that it was energized, and you know, again, I might have said this already. My wife was so thrilled that all the other wives and their families said, "Okay, you hadn't been lying about it." You know what I'm saying? Because they've been here and they really saying, "I don't." You know, it's not like you said it was. You exaggerated, and she's like, "No, I told you." I could tell it was so loud because it was getting hard, even with the headsets on, to communicate with the other coaches. For example, when we did get the one goal line stand that is going to always be pretty famous around here just because that was such a wonderful play, like I say, you know, everybody's celebrating like crazy. I mean, it literally, the stadium appeared to be swaying and you couldn't hear. And I was saying, okay, you know, we have to run a play. We have to get the ball off the 1 yard line or this all goes for naught. You know what I'm saying? They're going to score. And I couldn't get anybody on the headset, you know, to listen. I don't know if they'd thrown them or what they'd done or knocked each other down. But, you know, it was so loud. And then the other thing I know was that we had tried to tempo, which, you know, go really fast after we made, you know, a good gain. And the players were saying that they could not hear Holton. He has to verbalize those real fast plays to the line or whatever, and they were so slow, and I was getting irritated. I was like, why are we moving so slow? And they were like, okay, they're saying that they can't hear anything. Well, normally your crowd's pretty educated here. They kind of understand football for the most part. Now, there's 25 drunks there that lost money on a bet that don't understand it. But the most people do, so they're loud when the defense is out there. They get it, you know. And when the offense is out there, they're normally let us run and operate. But after we were having a gain of something, you know, you're not going to control them. And you see Holton throughout the tape when we were going in to score, and he's trying to, like, okay, but y'all got to be quiet because they can't hear me to call the play. So I knew it was pretty electric down there. And
That was your first time up in the box.
maybe with that type of an atmosphere. Yeah, I probably had been on the field for all the other great ones, you know, the big wins where it was packed like that. So, yeah, that was it helps you to concentrate a little bit, I guess. But I knew it was pretty electric. And a couple of the kids afterwards, you know, even though it did not seem to work out, as Coach Houston said, the football gods just said, not yet. It's coming, but you got to work a little harder. A couple of the kids came up and said, Coach, you're right. There's some magic in that stadium. So hopefully that'll carry on.
I know you weren't down there for the huddle before the last drive because you're up in the press box.
Yeah.
What does that mean of your team that after the adversity they had faced with the missed PAT, the offense, I mean, they picked up right where they left off. I think that last drive even looked better than
Yeah, you know, we work 2-minute offense a lot here. It's a big thing of ours, and we've been pretty good at it. We were 6 2 minutes last year. We scored on 4 of them. The Hail Mary was taken from us, the one at App or whatever, and there was another one that we didn't score at Houston, which wasn't a very good drive. So it's something we pride ourselves in. I think we were very comfortable in that. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like a Thursday practice. Here it goes. Now we're down. We usually say we're down 2. We were down 1, so it's the same difference in football scoring. You know, we had 2:27, which coach never gives the offense 2 minutes and 27 seconds. He usually gives us about 1:13 to go do that. You know, and we never have any timeouts, or we have one, so it was kind of, you know, use the timeouts on defense, get the ball back. And I think the kids were just like, okay, yeah, this is what it's going to come down to, and this is what y'all said. And we kind of had it done. We kind of didn't get it done, I guess, in the end. But I think that means we are moving in the right direction, because the couple first years, we'd have had no confidence. We would have already cashed it in. And then even in the SMU game, if you remember the game of the offense, we scored like every time we had the ball in the first half. Probably the best offense performance you've ever seen, you know, in a half. A couple of the players said, oh, gosh, so after the first drive of the second half we didn't score, everybody looked at each other and said, oh, God, here it's starting again. You know, it's happening again. And I remember Caden Norman, who was a good friend of Holton and one of the backup quarterbacks, even when it was going good, Holton said, yeah, Caden looked at me and said, are we dreaming? Is this really happening? Well, I don't think our kids think like that anymore. So we're getting there. We're not there yet. Thank God we're not where we were, though.
Game planning for Old Dominion, it looks like they came away with 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Talk about what you've seen on tape.
Yeah, they cause havoc too. It's very similar to the North Carolina State. We're talking about how, you know, they make a lot of big plays, take the ball away, a lot of turnovers. They're good defensively. They're every bit as good as anybody else in the country defensively. They got some good guys up front. They got a defensive end that scares us to death right there a little bit. He's a speed rusher. You know what I'm saying? That was the one thing we didn't see this past week. They were 3 down guys, big, huge, powerful. Their blitzes, they just tried to run you over. This guy's more athletic. He tries to run around you, uses his speed, uses his counter moves a little bit like that. The DBs are a little different. One side's kind of big, rangy, strong. The other guy's a little more shorter, but he's quick. Okay, he's very aggressive. Robert Kennedy's the nickel guy for him, who played for us. So we know he can flat fly. Now, I'm telling you, the only guy I know that can run faster than him might be Josiah Hatfield, and Josiah won't be dressed this week, so we won't get that matchup. But he's really, really fast. So put a lot of pressure on the passer. We got to get the run game going so that they don't know we're just going to throw it like that. But they go tack the ball in the air, and our receivers have got to do that as well.